Okay. Pretty good.
Okay.
Hey,
check the screen.
Good, bro.
all right. Shalom, Akim. Hey, we would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Also want to give double honor to our apostles, the great millstone, who well. Peace and blessings to the house of David, the elect. All right.
All right. Tonight we got a quick lesson on about fear, and the only way you can get wisdom is through fear, according to the scripture. And we got I'm gonna start out with Sirach 1 and 2. Well, I'm gonna start with 1. Then I'm gonna start with 2. Sirach 1 and 2. It says, man, I might start at 1. All right, it's Sirach 1 and 1. It says the prologue of the wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach. Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by the others followed their steps, for which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the readers must need become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn be able to profit them which are without, both by speaking and writing. My grandfather, it say Jesus, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and the other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on also himself to write something pertaining to learning and wisdom, to intent that those which are desirous to learn are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law. Wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. For the same things other in Hebrew and translated in another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets.
And showing it's important, it's important, to understand, all right, certain Hebrew words,
right?
Because this book, Ecclesiasticus, was written during the time of when our people was heavenly Hellenized, and when you go into a Hellenist, a lot of times it's going to a Greek-speaking Jew, because during this time you had the Septuagint, being created, being formed, bringing the Hebrew text to the Greek, so it was important to go back to the Hebrew, just like you see brothers do today, start the apostles and elders of GMX.
Like you say, it had a harder force on them.
Yeah,
like why they boil it, like they be watering it down, like watering like the new translation through the new translation, they water stuff down, and it don't mean the same thing as it meant, in the Hebrew term.
Yeah. For example, you can have like the term world, several definitions.
Yeah.
But with the Hebrew, everything is a straightforward language.
Direct.
Direct,
And another thing, like Hebrew is like organic,
right,
compared to the other languages. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the root of everything. Exactly. Where everything got a root, and that's the root of our language per se.
The word virgin. Yeah, there's a big stumbling block if you don't understand that word virgin. You'll believe in the immaculate birth, but if you understand the Hebrew, all right, verity, of their word, you know, which is what it is, preach you always going to.
Bakwala
Yeah.
and Amala.
I'm a lot. You know, and Bakwala is the actual version,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which you can read in Kings, the first chapter, the version that they brought to King David. And then once you go into what is it, Isaiah, that prophecy, you know, it's talking about a woman of a marriageable age, man. You know.
You know, just to add right quick, you also need to understand our culture and our heritage to understand the mindset back then and what was the purpose of a woman back then. You have to study Eastern culture. Something that I do, you know, is good to do. You can watch a Middle Eastern movie with the subtitles just to understand how they function.
Because it said this book was comprised of you know 3 generations of men, you know, that was heavy into reading the law, all right, and the prophets, man, which today they would call the Tanakh, you know, so from really the whole Old Testament. So they were going to the history, they were going into the Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, the law, you know, and they comprise, you know, this writing of Ecclesiasticus, you know, and just like the elder said, it teaches you, you know, how to move within our culture with some type of nobility. Because in the same book, you know, Sirach, he goes into, you know, refrain thyself from thy lust, desire not a woman for her beauty, prove thy soul, you know, to see what is good for it, you know. So wisdom, you know, has been handed down to us, you know, it balances us out and it preserves us for salvation, man, and we endure, man.
A quick one, bro.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths.
And that's what we're doing, man. That's what you see brothers converting back to the ways of our righteous forefathers, man. You know, moving how they move, man. You know, having that integrity, you know, having an honest report amongst men. You know, we take this ministry serious, you know, brothers have a side to them, you know, we joke with each other, but overall, all right, we serious, man. You know, and that's the ways of our forefathers, man. You know, they had that discipline and they had the fear of what Yahweh Shai could do to them going to the lesson, man. Because fear equals wisdom, you know, because you don't commit adultery because you understand what the Lord can do to you, and then secondly, you understand that's your brother, man. You know, so at the end of the day, fear makes you apply the wisdom that you learn, because there's a lot of people that have you know, they know about wisdom, you know, but they don't have the fear, so they don't apply it, man. You know,
It's like you know better, you do better. Right? You know, you'll do better. You know about what the Most High can do to you. Most definitely you'll try to do better. Yeah, appreciate that.
Can I finish this?
go ahead.
All right, it states, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
Our people don't want to walk in the ways of our forefathers, man, the righteous of our forefathers, man. All right. Jake don't want to sit down on the Sabbath, man. Ribs on the Sabbath, man. Jake don't want to stick to the Levitical diet, man. Right. All right. Jake can't stop getting a line up, man, trying to be cute, man. You know, they don't want to do these things. Women, they don't want to be under the man in complete subjection to their man, in complete obedience to their man. You know, so our people don't want to walk by the old ways, man. They rather, you know, follow the ways of the serpent, man, and be drunk out with Babylon juice, man.
Okay, this is Zephaniah 3:9. But then will I turn to the people in pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Shai to serve him with one consent. You know, just going to that Hebrew again, like I'm saying, it's like organic compared to all the other languages. You know, they all watered down. They pretty much considered like GMO languages. You know?
They all really derived from the Hebrew some type of form. You know, and we don't need confirmation from this system that we have the pure language. Man. You know, because you have vocab arguing, you know, about the Hebrew, you know, arguing about Ariyah, made up language. You know, but at the end of the day, through faith, we know this our language, man. You know, we know this our tongue, man, because it's forced in their name, man. You know, because if this name wasn't a threat, you know, why is this name never broadcasted, man? You know, they'll promote Jesus, Yeshua, Yahweh, you know, Yah, you know, Jehovah, you know, but when it comes to the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, those names are blackballed, man. Right. You know?
Yeah. And why would Esau nowadays, brothers through the spirit, he found out movie came out in 1981, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. He got on a stone Yahweh's name in the ancient Hebrew, man. Like, why is that coming out to the forefront nowadays?
And then what about the Moab stone? The Moabite stone? I mean, stone, basically, he was given basically glory to his God on how he and his God defeated the nation of Israel and Yahweh. And Yahweh is actually on that stone in the Hebrew, man. So, hey, the elites, they know. You know what I'm saying? And we know that, you know, vocab Malone is nothing but an offset payoff, man. You know, he's a major, man.
Yeah, I guess so. Wisdom of Solomon 87. If a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teaches temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude. And I want to expound on fortitude because you have to align wisdom with fortitude or courage or discipline. Because you can know something, like somebody said earlier, you can know something, but if you had a strict of mind to execute it, then you're nothing. So it's one thing to know the laws, statutes, and commandments, and it's another thing to have the discipline and the strength of mind to execute it, man. That application is very powerful.
Yeah. Your character.
Your character.
Yeah. I got some. And it says, for the same thing other than Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference.
Yep.
When they are spoken in their own language.
Yeah, like the brother was getting into, they have no small difference. Meaning it's a big difference when you hear it in its original tongue. There's a different force to it, man. You know,
it means something different.
You know, like you ever watch a movie like Friday, or a movie, you know, you grew up watching, like a Jake movie, and they turn around and play it on BET.
Right, and they take the cussing out.
They take the cussing out, they put like a substitute word in it, and they edit it. It's a whole different force to it, man.
Right. It ain't as funny.
It's not as funny.
If that was the case, you know, they were trying to be funny. They took the fun out of it.
Yep.
Or they took the truth out of it. Per se, once they break them words down like this. When they are spoken in their own language. For in the 8th and the 13th year coming into Egypt, when the Eugertes was king, and continuing there some time, I found a book of no small learning. Therefore, I thought it was most necessary for me to bestow some diligence and travail to interpret it, using great watchfulness and skill in the space to bring the book to an end, and set it forth for them also, which in a strange country are willing to learn, being prepared before in manners to live after the law. Our wisdom coming from the Lord, and it is with forever. All right, it's 2.
And it's with him forever.
With him forever. Done. All right. This is verse 2. It says, who can number the sand of the sea and the drops of rain in the days of eternity? Who can find out the height of the heaven and bread of the earth?
And that's the Most High.
Come.
That's why he's called I Am, and that's why one of his titles is omniscient, which means all knowing. So the Most High actually literally knows the number of the sands of the sea. He literally knows the number of the drops of the rain. All right? That's why he's omniscient, man. All knowing. All right.
And Esau wants to imitate that, man.
Yeah.
You know, he can't do it, man. You know, Esau's, imitation of the Most High is very flawed, man. And he falls well short of that, man. You know, Esau always act like he's gonna discover this new wisdom, this new technology, something, you know, that's a surprise to the Most High, you know. But at the end of the day, we can't even begin to fathom, all right, the infinite wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, man. We just deal with the inkling that he gave us, man.
All right. This spoke. It says, wisdom have been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting. It says the word of the Most High. The word of the Most High is.
That's why you can equate Yahweh Shah with wisdom. He's the only begotten son. And then when you go to Proverbs, I want to say the 8th chapter, it tells you that Yahweh Shah was created before the foundations of the earth.
Yahweh Shah, he's the Most High wisdom. You know?
Yeah, literally. It says the word of the Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments.
So meaning that basically, if they're everlasting commandments, they're ongoing. From the time of Adam all the way until the time of now.
Right.
And future tense when we get in the kingdom, Lord willing.
Forever.
These are forever.
It's just the law. This is the only law, you know, the true law, you know. It says 6. It says, to whom have the root of wisdom been revealed, or who have known her wise counsel? Unto whom have the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest, and who have understood her great experience?
And the answer is Israel, man. You know, because the Lord was dealing with Israel on a whole nother level. And you go and study our ancient forefathers, all right, Abraham, you know, even going back to Adam. How you think Adam was able to name all those animals? Imagine the capacity, the mental capacity he had to do that, man. And remember all that, man. You know, the functions of the earth, you know, knowing how to form, knowing about the seasons, you know, that's our culture, man. You know, Issachar, you know, they knew the astrology, they knew, you know, when to plant crops, you know, they can even tell by the astrology when to go to war, man. You know? Who's their wisdom given to, man? Because what you see from these heathens is them mimicking, all right, our ancient customs, man. You know, they're residue of our culture that's still over there in their region, man. You know?
I got a quick precept to back you up. Sirach 17:5. They received the use of the 5 operations of Yahweh. All right, this started with Adam right here. And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding.
What's the 5 operation?
The 5 senses.
5 senses. Feeling, tasting, touching, smelling, and hearing.
And in the 6th, he imparted them understanding. Now, somebody get that in Genesis real quick, Genesis 2. And Adam, he breathed about the life. All right? Because this all started in the time of Adam, man. Because how could Adam name all those animals? So in order to name them, he had to already have a language. That's right. So what language was he calling them? Does the actual bird that still has the same name today? I think it's called a court, but the names go back to call. Because when he chirps the son, he said he's calling something, but it's a Hebrew name. So Adam was calling them that same Hebrew name that they still retain today. Like a camel goes back to the Hebrew gamal. All right, but that's the gamal is what Adam, Yahweh Shah, literally called those animals, man. So, but the Most High gave, let me know when you got it. All right, go ahead, Scott.
Genesis 2:7. And the Lord power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, man. All right, that was wisdom back then. All right, and if you can look up the breath of life from Blue Bible, that breath. All right, because that wisdom we've always had that wisdom. We were the most civilized back then. When we had the law, statutes, and commandments, we were the most advanced back then. Esau had you thinking we were just cavemen.
Going back to that term Hebrew,
Yeah.
bar,
Yeah.
you know, of the past.
Of the past.
Of the past.
Yeah, that wisdom of the past. Those traditions of the past. So like you said, Hebrew, I borrowed from the past, man. Because where did Noah get the understanding to build the ark, man? All right. Where did Joseph have the understanding to govern Egypt, man? All right. From the past, man. You know how they had that thing about Atlantis? The underground city Atlantis and all that technology, but it was like of the past. That's like the ancient world, man. All right.
It says breath, spirit, breath of God, every breathing thing. And it says inspiration.
That's the Holy Spirit.
It says divine inspiration.
So and it's part of it. All right. Then if you were to go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 7:24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She pass and go through all things by reason of her pureness. Verse 25. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High.
Wisdom is the breath and the power of the Most High. And what it says, Genesis 2:7? And man, he breathed the what? The breath of life. So he breathed wisdom in man. Going back to Sirach 17, where it says he imparted them understanding. And the 7th speech, what was that speech? It was the Hebrew tongue. An interpreter of the connotations thereof. All right.
Basically, you're being able to convey your thoughts to someone.
He gave
break it down.
Yep. He gave man intelligence, man.
That's what it is.
From the past, that we were advanced in the past, man. All right.
No more in a pure influence going into the inspiration Chicago was talking about, flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can know the power thing falling to.
Yep. So how Esau makes an effort to imitate the Most High with Christianity, he'll go to these Aboriginal countries and say that he civilized everybody, and he projects them as being like in this brute state. He gave them Christianity, and they cut their hair, and they started wearing suits and ties. Well, the Most High did that with us, man. We were the primal state, man. But the Most High imparted in us the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. He imparted in us wisdom, man, and how the world works, man, how the universe works. So,
then Esau go around the world and fake it out and say like we getting them democracy, we making them more civilized, we uplifting they murder and whatnot.
And in turn, he has a God complex.
He's faking it though.
He's faking it.
He can trick everybody. Except the real true men of the Most High, we ain't Lord willing, we ain't fake though. You ain't faking us that. You got something about
to make a point, with the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shah brings life, because everything that they were doing back then, inspired life. That's why you had men living hundreds of years old, back, all right, in the Old Testament, man. But you fast forward to this day, when Esau had spread his wickedness, his deceit, all right, his false wisdom, you had the death rate getting lower and lower and lower, man. The life expectancy getting lower and lower and lower under the deceit of Esau. The Most High was inspiring life. Esau inspired death, man, with his so-called wisdom, man, and liberty, man. I got some.
We gonna knock it out. It says, to whom have the root of wisdom been revealed, or have known her counsel, her wise counsel? Unto whom have the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest, and who have understood her great experience?
Now you got a precept that's gonna prove, about shot. This book Sirach 24:1. It said, wisdom shall praise herself and glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in the high places, and my throne is a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep.
That's wisdom personifying itself as a person.
All right. It said, in the ways of the sea and in all the earth and in every people and nation I got in possession. With all these I saw rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. So that's part of my heritage from the Most High. It's His wisdom. All right, like Esau passed down businesses to his son, you know, bank accounts and lands or whatever to his son. The Most High, He imparts wisdoms, all right, to His sons, man.
It was just like generational wealth. You know, so it's generational knowledge.
It ain't no coincidence that we the greatest on planet Earth. We can do whatever, we can build whatever, we can make whatever, because we inherited it from the Most High. He gave it to Israel, you know.
And just imagine when He lines us back up to
Right, because you know we ain't got it our way, but we got it, you know.
we still have remnants of
Right.
greatness.
So that's us in a sense, you know. And I got something.
That was it, bro.
All right. He said, there is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon His throne. He created her and saw her and numbered her and poured her out upon all His works.
And in her is wisdom. Wisdom is like unto a woman.
She is with all flesh according to His gift, and He has given her to them that love Him.
And that's Israel, man. You know, that's one of the gifts from Yahweh Shai. When we do Deuteronomy 4:6, you know, it's talking about how the laws is our wisdom and understanding amongst the nations, man. You know? Yeah.
All right, it says, the fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. It says, whosoever fear the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death.
This time we are in now, man. You know, where we're going to receive favor, man. You know, for applying the wisdom of Yahweh Shai, man. You see, us doing this lesson, all right, it's us applying the wisdom of Yahweh Shai. Because what? Yahweh Shai told us to feed His lamb, man. You know, the apostle told us to be diligent, man, and make our call and election sure. You see, that's us applying this wisdom, you know, and if we endure to the end, we're going to receive this favor, man. You know?
Cool. Okay, and it's Sirach 2:7. You that fear the Lord, wait for His mercy, and go not aside lest you fall. You that fear the Lord, believe Him, and your reward should not fail.
Hey, that's what we hope in, man. You know, because we've seen the examples of people that have fallen aside, man. You know, got proud, you know, wasn't living, you know, what they was teaching, you know, and what happened, man, they fell to the wayside, man. So we know that we have to stay on this course all the way to the end, man. No matter how many videos we get, no matter how much praise we get on the comment board, no matter how many precepts you think you know, we still have to stay the course, man. We still have to submit ourselves, all right, in humility, you know, to this ministry, man. You know,
because you don't want to be proud and end up, you know, boosted up, pumped up. That's why that fear come in. They keep you everything, keep you down to the ground, keep you low. It's like a weight that keeping you straight. Right.
And it seems like, you know, if you conquer some of one area, it is true, you neglect something else. But you know, it's good because it keeps you humble. You know, the thorn is a mud, man.
Yeah, read to, what are you talking, verse 7? Read to 9.
I'm on verse 8.
Read 9.
Verse 9. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy.
I jump to 12.
Verse 12. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that go in 2 ways. Woe to him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe to you that have lost patience, what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey His word.
Went to the proposed lesson. You know, go ahead.
And they that love Him will keep His ways.
Continue.
They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well, pleasing unto Him, and they that love Him shall be filled with the law.
Continue.
They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in His sight.
So with these last precepts the brother read, and at the same time frame, you fear what we fear, and at the same time frame, you gotta have patience. You gotta have faith as well, man. So you have to have these ingredients to receive salvation from Yahweh Shem Shai, and they're all gifts given to you by Yahweh Shem Shai. You know.
You got something up?
The Proverbs, and you gonna keep reading.
Yeah, we'll keep reading up. Oh, all right. It said, fear is the beginning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and He it was created with the faithful in the womb.
And predestination.
Think about Jeremiah. What's that for? Jeremiah 1:7, 1:8.
All right. It said 15. It says, she has built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with their seed. All right. It says, to fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom, and filled it men with her fruits.
Spiritual gifts.
She filleth all their houses with things desirable, and the garners with her incense.
Increase.
Increase. It says, the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish. Both.
You see that with the law. Some foods not to eat. We know that grace and mercy comes from Yahweh Shem Shai, because we eat total bullshit. But at the same time frame, you prolong your life by doing what He says. And part of that is obeying the dietary law.
Right, because He said don't do it. And with the outcome of Him saying I do it, it got to be something bad.
Yeah, He should.
So, yeah. So it would be like, I can't do this.
Yeah, because all things have their purpose, man.
Yeah.
You got animals that's created to be sanitation workers on the planet Earth. If you throw anything and fry it and season it, it's gonna taste good. Right? You got fish that was created to filter the ocean. They were created to eat the feces of other fish or eat the flesh of dead fish. We weren't supposed to eat those animals, man.
That's what it talks about. Receive all His creatures with thanksgiving. Respect the order that there was put on this earth and what they do.
Right.
And then the meats, those offered to God during those different times. Because Israelites, all right, living, with masters that were pagans, man. So when they offered the lamb or the chicken or beef, to the other gods, they would receive it with thanksgiving, praying over in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. It was never given the green light to eat anything, man. That's not wisdom, man. That's crazy as hell. Why would you eat something, that has a purpose on earth, man? That's like you having a business, you're CEO of a business. You got janitors, you got people that that work in the office. All these people have a purpose in what they do. That's like you killing and eating milk, man.
Right.
You ate all your janitors. Now you wonder why your
dirty
building dirty as hell.
Right.
Showing you that that's not wisdom to do something like that.
Don't interrupt the systems of the Most High.
Yeah.
The Most High created systems to maintain the planet Earth, man.
Yeah.
Bottom feeders are a part of that system. Go ahead.
No, this is like going under your hood to pulling out one of your pulleys, man.
Right.
Why would you do that? Now nothing gonna run right.
Right. And then with these Christians, they swear they know the Bible, but they don't know nothing. And it goes to show you that interpretation, when Peter received that dream, okay, that was just basically, it was time for the word to be given to the Israelite foreigners. Because even when Yahweh said, rise and eat, what did He say? No, I've never put that.
Right. I never put that into my mouth.
Right. Why? He was still following the law.
Right.
But
when you break it down to one of them Christian folks, like you say, they'll always bring it up, but then you'll break it down to them, you just shut them up. You can shut them up forever. They don't even like you no more.
Because you gotta ask them, did he start eating pork after that?
Yeah, that's what I asked him to do. It happened to me. But go ahead.
No, I mean, that was the point though. That was the point.
That show had the same came up.
But you have to have fear though. You know, because we know like if we don't do what we supposed to do, we'll get fucked up.
That's what I told him. I said, well, you go ahead, eat the shrimp then. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. It ain't expedient for you to do. You do